Exactly. So that
I
means
said
that
you're
you're. So if
okay.
science, how can
Let me teach
science?
you. You're
Hold on,
doing
calm down. Let
a
me ask you a
slippery slope.
question. Instead of us
Can you
screaming over
stop
each other,
talking?
let me ask you a question. How could science be science? Right? It's
Because I didn't
demonstrable.
say.
Hold on, calm down. Let me finish the question, then you can
I
answer,
just
and I'll be quiet, and you can answer.
I'm not going to answer
How
that
could
because that's a.
science? How could science, be demonstrable, but yet I could use it to prove my insanities? Right? If it's demonstrable and it's factual, then how do you where do you get this
Please
disconnect?
let me answer.
Yeah, go ahead.
Number one, I can let me start with math. Math is a pure science, and math is like the foundation of logic and truth.
Mm-hmm.
Now you can use that to prove what's real, or you can use it to prove your point. But just because you proved your point doesn't make. Now, for example, I can show it. Just let's say right now we take a test. If I score higher than you, I don't know what excuse you're gonna have, but you're not gonna consider that a fact. You're gonna consider that a circumstance. So what I'm saying is, you guys are you're switching between circumstances and facts, and that's not correct.
I've never yet switched between circumstances and fact. So since you
That's
say
not what I'm saying.
hold on, so math is a pure science, right? So then you would agree then that can you show me using math what statistics you have that show that white people commit more violent crime than black people in America?
Me going out of any extra length, you should have common sense to know that you can take a statistic and you can manipulate it, and that's all you need to know.
From
That's all
every
you need to-
possible source. Show me a source from anywhere. Anywhere.
Again,
There are literally hundreds of sources that prove my point,
play
but you
poker.
have zero sources.
There's
hundreds of sources that there's people in the middle of the earth.
Do you play poker?
Sure, yeah.
There's many sources that there's a white person walking around the planet from the Middle East called Jesus the Christ.
What will make you fold two aces? What will make you fold two aces after the flop?
That's based
There's
on,
a comic book that says Superman is the best.
but that's not
It-
based on statistical data.
Since that's the game we're playing, you want to play
Statistical
it.
data.
Right.
Who's the person that plays? I'm about to show you the math. Why would you fold two aces after a flop? This is going to answer your question about how statistics can be deceitful right here. Why would you fold two aces after the flop?
If there was a royal flush on the fucking flop potentiality, yeah.
Okay, so now why would you not do it before the flop?
Because before the flop, you have a higher statistical probability.
Do you see how a shift in time and the same variables at hand, the truth can be changed? Now,
But the variables aren't the same. The variables
they
aren't the same. No, the variables it just changes because you've added more variables to the table with the flop. So you've changed the variables. They're not the same.
those are the same variables that were going to be there because you have to deal with those cards anyway.
I understand that, but you had no knowledge of the variables. Now
Right,
you
so-
have further knowledge.
Right,
Right.
but the
If
material.
that's the case,
So that means the variables have changed.
if
No, the
that's the
variables-
case, I'm telling you why you don't know culture. You should never speak on it. You should never speak on what blacks and whites do in that sense, unless you are racist. That's why I'm saying culture. This conversation could be killed with culture. That lets me know you don't go with culture because Yanks don't do culture. They just go by, again, robotic statistics they collected over time, data, and all this.
You missed
It's
it.
like,
You
that makes
totally-
no sense.
You totally
That makes no sense.
You totally
You
missed the
behave
first
how
part
you
of this
behave based on your
conversation.
culture.
In other words, my point is,
Culture,
you can
Cam. Let's go with culture, Cam. Let's go with culture. I'm going to go ahead and let's go with culture. Let's just have a cultural discussion.
No. And again, like I said earlier, when I set that premise, I'm not going to have a cultural discussion with an American. I'm going to be nice and use the word American because you don't know culture. You don't know culture. If you
Okay,
you,
so here's what I know about culture.
You would solve the race problem.
In Haiti, they kill redheaded children.
Are you Haitian?
No.
Okay, I can't have that conversation with you.
Yeah, exactly.
You Haitian?
Stop proxy. Okay, I can't have that conversation again. What are you talking about? You don't know what you're talking about. You just throwing out stuff you don't like. You don't like.
They cure impotence.
I don't like the way Yankees.
Do you know what white people do in America? They worship a guy named Jesus and they drink a communion and call it the blood of him. And they drink.
Why with a dead man on their chest?
We've had this discussion on this show before.
We've had this discussion on the show before. If you'd watched it, we don't. Neither one of us is subscribed to transubstantiation. So it's a moot point,
I'm
right?
not talking about. I'm talking about your people. Do you know your people actually practice a ritual in tearing the flesh of somebody and drinking their blood?
Okay.
That's your people.
Your people actually rip the flesh from people and eat it. So what's the point?
Your people do this.
Your people.
Like you show me white people anywhere in the world right now who are currently eating people as part of their culture.
They're doing that.
What does it matter? What does it matter if they do it currently or used to? The point is, what are you talking about? My point is culture.
That's what I'm talking about.
No, you're not. You're talking about no, you're not. You're ignorant of culture and you're trying to make it racist.
He's the one talking about race. He's the one talking about he's talking about your people do this. Well, guess what? I'm not Catholic. Hold on. Hold the fuck on. Hold the fuck up. Listen to me and let me finish a goddamn sentence. You'll know when I'm done and you can respond. Now listen, he's talking about your people. Guess what? I'm not Catholic. So guess what? I'm not part of Catholic culture. So that is a moot fucking point. Unless you're a racist by your fucking definition and that you are grouping all white people together.
I'm not a criminal. I'm too smart. I can't have this conversation with you. I'm too smart for this shit.
No, dude, you're a fucking retard.
Yes. That is proven out of facts.
That's a religion.
That's been proven.
You don't have enough intel to survive the next day. Oh, this argument.
He's got to go.
Yeah.
Son of you. We did.
Done.
All right.
See that right there? That right red orange in the screen?
Oh, that's crazy.
You're gonna need a suntan ocean in a minute.
But anyway, the point is, if you don't have a culture, you're not into culture yourself, then what are you talking about?
So because how do you say we don't have a culture? That doesn't make any goddamn sense, dude.
It's pretty much
racist fucking statement.
Whatever your president or what is it, religious leader or some thing like that, and it's like traditional. It's not part of what your family or your father long tradition. That's not what that is. So that's culturalist. So if you follow anything on that level, that's government and religion and things like that. That has nothing to do with long line of bloodline tradition. So when I say culture, I'm talking about the unspoken rules that we all follow who part of those.
So white
cultures.
people have no culture, right? Is that what you're saying?
It's not to say white people. I was being specific earlier. Now, if you want me to say white, well, that is white. Because white, if I ask you where's white TJ at, or where's white people from, like where's that from? Don't change the word, keep the word white. So just like if a person's from Hmong, you know what I'm saying? It may be what Vietnamese or whatever, or whatever.
A specific land, yeah, Europe. Okay. How about that?
Yeah,
Europe.
Europe ain't specific. Europe is in the middle. Europe is in the middle of a continent called Asia. Like that's insane.
Are you saying no? Europe is its own fucking continent. What the fuck are you talking about?
That shit is a brand new continent.
Show map and show me.
Shit, the last
they're stupid. That's how you know they're stupid. Europe is in the middle. Europe is not a continent. You can't cut a fucking piece of land out of another bigger piece of land and call it a continent.
You can. You can divide it right at about the Levant.
Yep.
Like I said earlier, the insanities they're going to use.
Going from Western, you can divide Europe from Asia at the Levant.
No, you can't.
Yes, you can. That's where it's historically been.
In your mind, you can't.
It was so valuable for the Jews because that was the center of trade in Europe and Asia.
The insanity, the separatist, xenophobic attitudes that they have. You check it from the gate. From the gate, listen to them. When he identified as white, he let you know from the gate he's racist. So everything that comes after that is racist.
The only person who said anything in this call that's been racist has been you.
They say it's what you're talking about. It's obvious. That's why you called yourself white. You'd have told me you was German. You'd have told me anything else, but I asked you.
Guess what? We're American. That doesn't make where our people came from is irrelevant at this point.
Americans are white.
We are our own unique ethnicity of white people.
From what?
From the original stock that conquered this fucking continent.
Who? Specifically?
Well, a large proportion of it was the Anglo-Saxons.
No, name who. Again, another separatist-minded group. Again, all these separations. Where'd you come from?
Guess what?
America.
Hey, dude, you know that the UK is a whole nother fucking island all by itself, right? So that's where Anglo-Saxons come from, motherfucker.
So your ancestors came from America. That is amazing.
But watch this. They're gonna start from the Caucasus Mountains. Keep going. Keep going. No, keep going. Where you come from? Notice they can't never answer that question. They pick up bits and pieces and wrote themselves into
history.
history.
You want to say that that Homo sapiens started in Africa? Nobody has a problem saying that.
I don't have to say or not say that. Okay, thanks for saying that. Now you're going to set a trap for yourself. But again, where do you come from? White people can't answer this question. They always keep jumping over here. No, where do you come from?
Where do you come from?
Tell me where I come from.
Just a second. I'll tell you just a second, but I'm not under the microscope for that. I asked you that first. Answer it.
Where do I come from?
I come from.
I can give you exact genealogy back to fucking 2,000 years ago. Yeah, I can.
Right. Again, where's that from? Where is that from? I'm waiting.
1,000 years ago.
We got Great Britain. We got Germany. And we got fucking France. What else?
Okay, keep going. Those nations aren't old enough.
That's it. That's it. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I'll wait. I'm waiting on you.
Holy Roman Empire. That's about it.
That's
all you need.
Still young, only a couple thousand years old. Keep going.
That's all you need. That's all you need.
No. Oh no.
Guess what? Because culture doesn't go beyond that.
You wrote yourself from the 14th and 15th century into history, and then you start fucking up the planet. That's out of your books. That's out of your books. Shit you wrote. Your fucking Ferdinand Magellans. You goddamn people that came with it, looking for the fountain of youth.
You ass motherfucking.
In your book.
Hey, guess what? I'm not Spaniard, so you can't put that shit on me, bro.
I am.
He came what exactly? He identifies as a white Spaniard because anybody else or the mortals would have beat your ass. I know about all that. So what are you talking about? You full of shit. People that come and say the mortals, the Moors.
You don't even goddamn make any sense, man. Like you're literally like talking out the side of your neck this entire fucking episode.
Y'all had Andalusia. That's about it.
Y'all over there know exactly what a Moor is.
I know exactly
Moors are North African, and guess what? They were black.
You full of shit. You full of shit. White people are full of shit, and thanks for proving that.
They know they're full of shit.
You ain't got hands like that. You don't have hands like that. I don't talk like this unless my hand's good. Trust me.
Yeah, come at me with that hidden colors Tariq Nasheed bullshit.
No, that's not hidden colors. Any person that knows anything who's traveled the planet, that has nothing to still don't let me know. Keep talking. Show your racism, Yankee. Keep talking.
You're the one that's fucking only the one who said anything racist in this entire fucking conversation.
Yankee, that's not racist. That comes from your people. That comes from the bricks. From your people who talk like this.
You're the only one who said anything racist in this entire conversation. It's been you.
I have no idea what you speak of, brother. So anyway, like I said, you're the one who's racist.
Look, when the Dutch got to South Africa in 1647, the only other people that were there were Khoisan, right? And they were nomadic people. So depending on the year, they might not have been in the location, right? Because they traveled. No, shut the fuck up.
Wait, hold on. He's doing that hella good.
So,
whoa,
1647 was Dutch got there, right? And so it wasn't until 1816 that the Zulu got to South Africa. The white South Africans have a better claim on that end.
Talk about something you actually know about.
Oh,
I'm literally giving you factual fucking points, dude, and you're like, "Oh, talk about something you know about." Well, guess what? I guess you don't know anything about like fucking, other than like being a fucking, slave descendant. So you can't talk about anything else beyond that. Come the fuck on, dude.
Who was that just talking? That was with that accent. Who was that?
That was me, Kaiser.
Oh my goodness! Damn, he fucked me over with that one.
You thought a South African that stepped in here, didn't you?
No, I'm just like
he does sound like a boy. You do sound like. You know what that is?
I do sound like a South African. Well, yeah, because I've been there.
Boy, not a South African. You sound like the Afrikaner, the Boer, but you don't sound South African. You're not an African.
The South. You're saying the Boers aren't South African?
By colonization. You were African.
Well, no one there. There was nobody there. So yeah,
the Zulus aren't either.
So, listen. Oh, okay. Here we go. So again, listen to it. Listen to it.
To what?
Listen to the Yankeeism. It's obvious. It's like I said. You always speaking on other people's culture. I asked you who you are and where you come from. I didn't ask you about other people.
From America, dude. And that's
wow.
Speaking on Boer. What are you doing speaking on what are you being Boer? Like what are you doing speaking on like why are you talking like we don't know like I don't know what you're talking about. I'm actually an African. So who are you talking
to?
No,
you're not. You're an American.
Who are you what? Who are you talking to?
Where are you born? Where were you born?
Talking to. Who the fuck you? No, who you talking to? No.
You,
Don't-
man. You.
Who are you talking to? No. You just told me you're a Yankee. You just told me you're a Yankee, pretty much when you say you're American, because America means you came over. You just said your people. You said you literally said it out your mouth. You said my people conquered these other people, fucked them up, whatever. That's why I asked, do you speak Nika Talaka or Algonquian? You don't
No,
speak
because they're all dead. We killed them. It's called conquest.
No, they're still
Yep.
alive, actually. That's why I named those names. No, they're still alive, actually. So
Yeah,
again,
but they're not in any serious population
don't recognize
because we
you don't-
killed most of them.
you don't because you don't recognize and you don't care. Again,
I don't care. It's called conquest.
obvious.
That's how
No,
the world works.
obvious. You are the racist and you're
Still
gay.
there.
It's obvious. Yes, they're still there. I talk to them all the time. Like I'm in Arizona right now as we speak. Like who are you talking
yeah,
to?
with the Navajo or who?
No. So what? So at the end of the day, the point is you set a false premise and you just straight lied earlier when you said, "Well, let's talk about it and let's see if we
So
can."
who is it that has no empathy, but yet we gave them these reserves to have their fucking people and all that, rather than just completely wiping them out?
Man, who are you talking to?
We gave. That is hilarious.
Yeah, the Yankees are peaked out. That's why I said earlier. That's why I asked the simple question when you question a so-called white person or the person that's suspected of being
You're
white.
racist, dude.
don't have to say you don't.
You're
You can say
fucking
whatever you
racist.
say, but I know you're lying to yourself. I know
Man,
you're
you're racist.
How can you call him racist? How are you serious? This is
Yeah.
you joking.
comfortable
Yeah,
because
he's dismissing
reality.
everything I'm saying because I'm white, and if that's the only reason, then he's a fucking racist.
you are the reason racist people are racist. You are though.
How they flip? That's a
Hey,
cold.
are you mad that you have white ancestors?
Everybody
That's-
knows that. What are you talking about?
That's a
Everybody.
last. That is a last ditch effort for him to say that you're racist right now. This is hilarious to me because it's like a last ditch effort to
No,
try to.
I'm just using the same tactics he's been using this entire time, dismissing everything I'm saying as a Yankeeism or whatever the fuck.
That offends you because it makes you mad because we have a word for you, just like no different. You use the word Negro or use the word nigger or any other epithet that you
I
use.
don't
Yeah,
get
so
that.
that's a racist term, right? So if you're using this other term, that makes you're literally proving your racism.
You from your books. What are you talking about? Comes from
So
your book.
but you're literally comparing it to using the word Negro,
British
right?
people, the British people that you raised
Did you
from.
not just did you not just compare it to using the word Negro?
Of course, because it's
Okay,
You're a
then.
racist.
racist.
Is that a racist statement? If I
It's
called y'all Negroes, is that a racist statement?
If you don't mind, you old face.
Is it or is it not? Yes or no? It's a simple question.
If you don't mind, use paper towels.
Hey, you know what? You know what I like? Hey, can I tell you what I like about racist white boys? I do. You know what? I enjoy racist white boys because at least y'all keep it real. Hey, this is so funny to me. Y'all
You can
are
admire insanity. You can admire insanity.
It's a
you know what?
time.
I do
Except for
admire
keep
the
getting
insanity.
fucking
I
cut off,
admire
keep
the
screaming,
insanity.
being uncivil.
I don't think that's what it is. Black people, so-called black people, whatever, they don't tell Yankees to their face. They don't even use the word Yankee. It's like they're so scared of losing their spot in their heaven and their white Jesus. They don't ever want to. And then when you talk to white
And
people,
what is this
certain
shit
type of
about
so-called
white Jesus? The guy was Middle Eastern. He was
He
Latin.
didn't exist. He didn't
your,
exist.
your Jesus is Ofe. Your Jesus is Ofe as fuck. It was a white person. You took a Middle Eastern person, you whited him up, or you what do you call it? You porcelain
I love
them.
how you say that when you're talking to like people who like that. That's irrelevant to the conversation.
Make it That's very relevant to the conversation. We're talking about race.
Mankind.
You're talking about the effects of racism and the race, period. So what are you talking about?
You're talking about other people's racism, but we're talking about direct individual, one-to-one. You're the one. Hold on. Let a person finish a goddamn sentence, dude. Seriously,
On their
you're killing
own
me.
show.
I know he's fucking kidding. He's literally 2 seconds from being kicked. I'm trying to have a civil fucking conversation with you. Now listen, you're sitting here saying that we should not worry about culture if you don't know about culture, one-on-one conversations. But we're talking about one-on-one. And one-on-one, you're being a racist towards people that you don't know shit about. And we're sitting here trying to have a civil conversation with you. So now have I ever called you a Negro? Have I ever said anything to you that called you racist? No. But you're in the same sense, you're sitting here using a term that you're using in a racist fucking epithet towards us. So at the end of the day, in this conversation, and the fucking audience will bore out that you're the only motherfucking racist in this conversation.
Nah, I know that's not true. But using the word Yankee is not racist.
Hey, chat,
But
if
you're
this guy's a
using it
racist,
as a
press one.
racist. You're
He's
using
not a
it as a
racist, press two.
racist fucking
Hey,
term,
stop
and you know
talking.
it, and you've already
Stop.
said it.
Stop.
I've never. This
To me,
tactic.
I'm using it as a racist.
Stop.
Put the racist epitaph. Show me.
You
Hey,
you
Chad.
already said it. You're the one that said you're using it as a racist epithet.
No, I didn't. I said you're racist, and I said using the word
Yeah,
Negro.
that's all you
in that.
fucking do. That's all you do to dismiss debate is you call somebody a racist and think you're one. That's all you're doing. You're doing nothing in
You're
this
the racist because
conversation.
I asked you
and
how
gotta
do you
kick you.
identify earlier. You said by
Rory,
race.
get his ass out of here.
Yeah.
You set the premise, bro. You set the premise. I asked you, you said white. You didn't tell me you was German. You didn't say American. You said that after the fact.
Because
What?
you said, are they white?
I asked the question. You could have said no.
Yeah. What's
You
our skin
asked.
color? It's pretty clear that yes, we're white people. It's fucking simple.
No.
That has nothing to do with being a racist.
Nobody's skin color is white.
Skin. There's no such thing as white skin. That's my point. So if you identify as white, what are you
There's
telling
no
me?
such thing as white skin.
No.
Somebody better tell
You guys are like
I'm
pink
done.
Africans.
I'm done.
The white person's like a pink African.
Hey, there's no such thing. You're not a color piece of paper. You're not the same color as a color as a piece of paper. That's impossible. That's insane.
oh God, Rory,
There's
this
nobody
guy's
white
fucking-
or black.
This guy's rhetoric
There's
is
nobody
so
white
bad.
or black. Really?
Yes, that's what I said earlier about black. There's no such thing as black people. There's people
Go
with
get a
brown
crayon.
skin.
Go get a crayon right now. You want to talk science? Go get 2 crayons. Go get a black one and go get a white one. And I bet you nobody on here's skin color matches that. It's just facts. What the fuck?
That's how I know you're racist. That's what I said.
Descriptors.
That's childish.
Are you gonna change it? Are you gonna change it now? I know your language better than you.
No, you don't.
Oh, okay.
You
Okay.
literally Yankeeism or some shit.
Okay. I can see you never encountered a person like me. I see that. You never encountered a person that like me. I see that. I understand that. Very, very few people like you can handle that, and I understand. I really do. I understand. You can't pinpoint because you can't put me in between the holes that you want to put me in between because you like I said earlier, you go talk to black people about that. Like how you speak, that condescending tone you had at the beginning. I don't know who this guy is. You need to fix your mic, dude. That condescending Yankee tone you had, like I picked that up from the gate. That's all I knew. Anybody that listens to this will know. Anybody that has some sense, cultural sense, they don't mess with you anyway. And you know that. That's why when people come around you, you have to say things like, oh, this is America, speak English, and things like that. Or the people like the other guy who speaks Spanish, but you white, I already know what that is. Like I have a friends who come from different places. I have a friend from Mexico. They had this term he talked to me. We were in Mexico. He was like, yeah, we would call him indigenoso or we say Cortez. I was like, what? What does that mean? And when he told me what that means, I was like, oh, okay, those people identify with Cortez and those people who are indigenoso, or they're indigenous, people, the Nicatalaca people versus the people like yourself who trade, they think that what they call Moreno, they too dark. Things like that. That's actually how I picked up a little Spanish and a little Latin, is learn about race and things like that. I got friends from Morocco. I got friends who live in Spain. Spain is not too far from Africa, actually. Spain is not too. You can actually stand in Spain and look at the coast of Africa, actually. So whatever. It's like I said, I see your plot, and I understand. I've lived in America long enough to know Yankeeism. That's why I use that term. Because that term actually comes from other people that are actually, I guess you could say per se white or whatever. That taught me that. Tell me about the Brits and what the word Yankee means and the Tea Party and all that. I didn't just learn that in school, but there's actually people who are historians who don't just live in America. They don't have that eagle's eye view, I guess you could say. I know what Mayflowerism is. I know what that term is that someone threw out at me one day. I was like, wow, what is that? I know what the Nicatalaca, the Mexican movement. I know who Leonard Peltier is. There wouldn't be a person like Leonard Peltier unless there was racist colonialists. So at the end of the day, there's people like Noam Chomsky. There's people like Peggy McIntosh. They have plenty. These are so-called white people who've written books about this. That's my point where I said earlier, I don't have to sit here and argue with a so-called white person about that. You already know what it is. You understand already. I don't have to talk to you about this. You're not trying to be my friend. You're not trying to solve the race problem. Race is how you survive and how you've endured control over the planet, and you like it. And oh boy, over there is the example of it when he said, or I guess if I'm not saying this right, when he was talking about being Spanish or Latin or whatever, but you identify as being white, but you're not Catholic. What? I already know what it is. Like, don't play with me is what I'm telling you. You can talk to a black person, so-called black person in America like that. And what I mean by that, the person who bow down to the law and they're going to shake your head. We all brothers in Christ. Or the person that's going to, race is not really, you play that game with them because they're trying to get their spot in heaven, but I don't give a fuck about your heaven or your white cracker Jesus or whatever. Now, that could be considered racist, but I said that, but not really because the word cracker is not racist. It comes from, again, another white person. Other people, the word was passed down to other people who start saying it because of slavery or whatever. So at the end of the day, like I said, what are you talking about? Where you come from? I understand what's going on. I'm playing a game with you. I'll play your game for a second, but I'm not going to be dumb about it. I'm not going to be the dumb cotton pick and field nigga. I'm most definitely not going to be the J. That's a word that white people used to call other white people just because they were poor or they come from the country. You racist against your own people, against everybody. I already know that history. I know about the Irish, the paddy wagon. The paddy wagon. They used to call Irish people paddies. Like, what are you talking about? Like, don't talk that to me. And Latin people weren't even considered white. Those whipping, beating flags as bad as anybody. You have breeds are the ones who even got any play in the world. But I see you identify with the other half. And that's how you've been surviving. So you want to still talk to me about race? You got words like quadroon, octoroons, or octonals, and half-breeds, and you got all these words because you mix with other. You just can't. You never could accept yourself, so now you can't accept the world. Get out of here. Like, who you talking to? Like everybody see you.
Click, bang.
Like, what do you think about? Like, why you talking? Like, what? I've been on the planet. I've been in different places. I've traveled this planet. I know how people talk about you when they say what they got words for you all over the planet.
Ofe.
Rugu, Ofe, like you name it, like however you want to say it, however you want to, Blanca, the way they say it, like to the Spanish guy who's speaking Latin over there. I know what that word means. It don't just mean like, a color. I know
what, real respectfully. So I want to ask these white guys, have they ever seen the movie Shaka Zulu? And I'm asking that very seriously, not to be cynical. I want to know if they've ever seen that movie, because that movie was deep and it showed the whole colonialism right there, how they tried to trick Shaka and they had to fuck around and they had to fucking trick him because they had to just use weapons because they couldn't outsmart. They thought the Zulu Nation people were like primitive. They thought they were stupid. They tried to infiltrate and they couldn't play the mind game, so they had to come with the gun. Yeah, the smartest thing about white people. You know what's so smart about white people? I'm gonna tell you. They were smart enough to know. They were like, you know what? If we don't get the jump on these black people and start getting these guns popping off, then like we'll never have a chance. We got to get the gun. And then so as soon as the gun was invented, and as soon as you stayed on top of that, yeah, I'm proud of that because that's the best way to survive. That's the best way to survive. And you know what? I'll give you credit.
In history, the guns was for themselves. They was killing each other in Europe. If you go look up the Papal Bulls and look what was going on during
you know what, the blacks, you can call them ignorant back then because they were nice enough to fuck with you guys. They were nice enough to coexist with you guys in a way and pretend to play the game. And then that's when you guys were able to infiltrate because you had to break the mind down first. When you look at it like the destruction of a civilization, it's a book that explains. It wasn't like you guys didn't come over there by force and take Africa like that. You came over there and befriended motherfuckers and acted cool and borrowed and traded for a minute and came back and did bitch shit and used trickery. It wasn't like you came over there forcefully. And there's nothing wrong, and of course that I accept that it took trickery because there was no head up fade that was going to happen. Now over years, the mind game has been played. But in reality, you know who the stronger person is. You know who the original man is.
The first offense wasn't even gun. It was religion and disease. That's a fact. Like, since they want to start talking facts and statistics and things like that, like, okay, I can play that game with you too. They got documentaries about this. Okay, let's play that game. I think it's called Guns, Germs, and Steel or something like that. Germs, Guns, and Steel. That's like a popular thing in America. So you want to talk about being American. So that's the thing with me.
You know where they fuck me up though. They fuck me up when they called you racist. It's like every time I hear, whenever it's like it fucks my head up when they do that.
Because they do not talk to people of color or anybody that actually has any sense about themselves to not let them condescend and talk to a person like that. Like they're not used to that. And I encountered most Yankee. That's why I use the word Yankee, because I already know where you're coming from by telling me when you tell me that you're white.
You
didn't tell me that you were German. You didn't tell me that you were Scandinavian. You didn't greet me in your language or even educate me about. No, you came straight with your cocky attitude about. I've lived in America long enough to know.
Doesn't matter if you're white, if you hate us.
And I got this from white people about white people.
Please, master, please don't take my daughter.
I don't know. I see one of their names is still on there, but I think the other one built out.
They better bail out. Kyle checkmated the shit out of them. Had them niggas in tears.
They can't never answer the question when I ask where you from. They start jumping. Oh, Rome. Oh, Greek. Rome. I want to tell you, B. Rome and Greece is not for whites. That has nothing. That's the Mediterranean. That's what we call the Ethiopia Rabasina Wakim. You know, that's the ocean of Africa. That has nothing to do. In fact, Rome and Europe is
still being
not.
Cali. Is it still being recorded?
Europe
Yeah,
is
I'm
not.
still recording. I'm still recording.
Europe is not even white.
Hey, you know what? I'm gonna tell you something. I thought this was your show when I came on, so I got caught off guard, and then I was like, you know what I'm saying? Because I prepare for racists like that, but you know,
Gotta prepare. I'll tell you, I don't give a fuck this record. My grandfather used to kill white people. I have no problem. As I get older, I have no problem saying that. They're not the Christian Negroes that went off into religion and started hiding behind religion, trying to praise the white man. In fact, it was the influence of the Christian blacks that forced the other black folks that didn't give a fuck about integrating. That's how we integrated.
Where did you meet them at, Kelly?
I met them from this group, this debate group on Facebook. Like we be going back and forth on a lot of race topics and all that. And that's part of the big reason why I wanted y'all to be there too, because I know.
You know what made me mad, Kelly? Haley, I'm not trying to. I'm just angry. I am angry. But you know what made me mad? When that condescending fucking tone that the fucking O-Face had, when he was, I don't know what's wrong with his mic. All you had to do was just say, "Hey man, you know your mic is messed up. Fix your mic." That condescending tone. I was like, "Ooh, they're white."
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I was picking that up too.
I was like, "What the fuck you talk?" Dude, and the dude talking about, "I'll reach out." Dude, man, I'll beat your fuck. Like, you do not have hands like that, or whoever that other so-called wannabe Spanish motherfucker is. Like, you Cortez, you stay your Cortez the fuck over there, that further than Magellan ass shit. Like I recognize what real fucked up white people when I fuck with them. Like, I grew up with certain white people. I've lived in the white neighborhoods, and that's why I asked him about culture, because I was trying to low key let him know, like, oh, I fuck with white people who still to this day, my friends since we were kids, who watch me get down, watch me work. So you're not gonna bring that fucking condescending white shit to me, like you trying to play like you come from some white people. I know your history very well. I've been in my friends' great grandmothers and grandmothers' libraries that they had in their house. I read those books.
Yeah,
I travel to those places. But I was trying to let them know too. I'm a traveler. I just read books. I travel. We try to some Tariq Nasheed. Hey, who the fuck you think you talking to? I don't need Tariq Nasheed. I love that brother, but I got my own knowledge. I walk within my own right. You mad because you scared because you hear a black man talking in his own right. You don't need your fucking statistics. I don't need a statistic to be studied about me when I could get up when I just showed you my scars that I've been beat down. Like, what the fuck you talking about? When a person we got to take a report, you procrastinating from me getting the motherfucker that did the crime.
I think they thought they was gonna jump on Cali. They didn't think this nigga had weapons in the cut.
No, they played him. They played him like, bring your Negro friends, and we gonna bust them up too. I'm like, that's why Cali, to be honest with you, like, I'm way out of character. I used to compose myself, but when it comes to white people, I'm telling you now, brother, I ain't that motherfucker. I'll slap a white boy like quick.
That's all right. That's what, we just needed some more perspectives. You know what I mean? I'm a laid back cat, and I know it's a lot of things that need to be said that I wanted to make sure I was able to get out, and I know y'all was going to come with it.
All right. I'm like, look, You ain't gonna. First of all, you remember I used to tell you, and I still tell people when I was growing up, I used to hate that black kids didn't know how to retaliate on white folks. Like they would let them call them nigger and all type of way. They didn't have no words for them. Like, you let the motherfuckers just talk to you like that? And I'm like, yeah, like how do you? They go tell the teacher, you called me a nigger, and I'm like, y'all just fire back. Like, what are you talking about? So I didn't understand black children. You know, I had been taught to be proud and like, you got me fucked up. You old face, you Ugu. Like, who the fuck are you talking to? Like, we got words like Korinji. Like, we got words for them motherfuckers. What?
No, that was my mom. Go ahead. I hear you.
Oh. I thought that white boy came back on to say something else. Say something here. What? Say something else. But what I'm saying is that's how the white boys was sounding, is the fact that they being condescending, and I don't like that. That's one thing I don't like. Like, I don't like how he was trying to act like, oh, you guys are over talking to each other, and you trying to make like, oh, you trying to make fun of the fact, oh, okay, you trying to use that monkey shit. Oh, fuck you up, white boy. Like, who the fuck you talking to?
White people invented everything. So white people invented math.
He knows better than that. That's why I brought up the Moor. That's why I was like taking little shots, and then it was like, oh, no, you didn't see how the way they tried to play it off, and then try to play like they did know. Like I said, you didn't tell. Did you see me catching them in their shit? Yeah. Like, so we're gonna play the tape. Go ahead, shit back. You know, you're sounding stupid. No, you're sounding stupid. I'm playing around with you, bro. You want to get serious? Let's do this. Like, get the.
Yeah, that shit was comedy. But I got it all saved. You know what I'm saying? I don't know when they cut it off, but I'm gonna make sure that whole thing get posted.
Probably talking like, oh yeah, them bitches, they just. Right? It's like, oh, you gonna try to use that reverse racism bullshit? Oh, you're racist. I didn't say you were racist. They got mad. I'm gonna tell you because they can't prove that point. When I asked, there's a couple of things I asked. When if you picked up, you could, you ask white people them same questions and watch how they choke up or start jumping around. Oh, Greece. Oh, Rome. No, that has nothing to do with white people. None of them people claim to be white. In fact, if you go in them areas, them some areas ain't on white folks. Maybe now, now after Christianity, and the occupation and shit, that's different. But before, go back about 500 years. You can go anywhere on the planet, go back about 500 years. There weren't too many light-skinned niggas running around that was mixing with white folks. Because people did not step. That's another thing I asked them, did you know about culture? Because about 500 years ago, and plus, people didn't go outside their culture, even in their own geographical area. So what made you think they fuck with white folks like that?
Yeah.
So yeah, they're full of shit. White people are full of shit.
It was funny as Kyle came in last, and I knew Kyle was gonna pit bull him.
I heard you trying to bring him in earlier. Like, ask him that question.
No, because like he had came in. I saw he had came in. I saw when he chimed in, and so I was like, "Hey, we got this person." Because like I get mad and I start losing my intelligence when I have these arguments because I get pissed. Because I just started saying, "Well, fuck you then, bitch ass nigga." Like, because it's like, nigga, I get mad because it's like, nigga, now you arguing against the truth, so it ain't nothing I can say. Remember I said from the gate, there's nothing I can say. Before Kyle came in, what did I say about them? Remember I was like before but then they acted like they was being civil. They tried to switch it up like they was being cool, and then when they were slipping their little racist jabs, I would slip mine in like, well, fuck you too, then, white boy.
Yeah, it said the little racist jab. That's what I'm saying. No, they talk from the point how he was speaking, and then the little fucking dirty pepper salt ass motherfucker trying to, like, he's Spanish. That's why I call them niggas pepper salt motherfuckers. Like, you got the fucking nerve to play a white Spaniard. Like, you actually have the fucking balls to talk to a so-called, use the term African black person or whatever. Like, you got the nerve to play like you something different in front of the other white boy. Like, who the fuck you talking to, dude?
Oh, then he fucked himself when he said, well, are you trying to get me to say that we come from Africa? I mean, I'll say everybody comes from Africa. And he was like, I don't have to say that. You're going to set yourself up with that one. But anyway, you're going to set yourself up with that one. But I was
I'm gonna let you crack. Yeah. That's what I do. Again, Haley, that's one of the things you could do. Ask a person, a white person, a race, ask ask a person if they white. As soon as they say yes, they hung themselves. As soon as they do that, they hung themselves. Because well, we're Americans, white. America ain't got shit to do with us being white.
Listen, you know what's funny? He was like, well, you were the one that told me you were white. He was like, no, you asked the question. You said, are we white? He said, you could have said no. You could have told him. He said, he
was like, well, no, when you look at her skin, and then you was like, nigga, put your skin next to a crayon.
There's no such thing as white, and then they got mad and started trying to act like I was crazy.
They got mad. Hey, when they felt like their intellect was being disturbed with, they got off quick. When they could play the intellect game, they kept us on no matter how rude we were.
That's my point earlier. When I said they want to use their statistics, they want to use their pre-made science. I'm sorry. I was trying to tell them they're business science.
Nigga, go get a calculus book right now. Let me show you your white brain can't fuck with mine, nigga. Like if you wanna use science and math, like you know what you're doing, nigga. Let me come fuck your mind up real quick. You ain't fucking with me, white boy.
He had the nerve to try to tell me about South Africa and the Sosa, and I was like, "You mean the Sosa? Say it right." You know what I'm saying? I've been to South Africa, bitch. I lived in Soweto. Like, who the fuck you talking to? Like man, like, hey, Haley, I'm telling you, them was some faggots, bro, on another level.
I appreciate y'all coming in.
To be real with you, I didn't do a good job. I broke my character. But
me neither. I fucked up too, but
I figured it was worth it on another sense. Like, you're not gonna talk to me like that, white boy. You're not gonna talk to my people, or you're not even that condescending, that tone that you like. What it is, they were surprised that I seen it and called them out on it because they're not used to talking to.
What it is they don't encounter intellectual blacks on a certain level. They wasn't used to having that type of conversation, so they tried to change our passion with aggression. They was trying to like. So then they start trying to like play that little game. Then we're making sense while using aggression, and that's too much. Oh, aggression and intellect, got to get out of here. You know what I'm saying? Not just because it's not like like I tried to give them a chance because I was like, okay, maybe it's just a difference in consciousness, and they were trying to slip shit in there.
Listen, what they were saying, B. They was talking about crime. This that old white to that bullshit they was. Well, we could talk about it and have a discussion. Do you know how condescending that is? If you any type of person, you don't never have to say that to a so-called non-white person. You never say that's like, oh, all my friends are black. That's the same shit that works. You know what I'm saying? You don't talk about racism, motherfucker. You just don't be racist.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Help me out, Haley. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, I feel you.
We ain't gotta go have a study group about racism to end racism. Just fucking stop being racist. That's what I kept saying over and over and over again. That's what I'm saying. Hey, that made me know they full of shit. See what I'm saying now? You go straight to the jugular on fucking old phase. You don't fucking let them breathe like that. Discussion. Stop being racist. It's that simple. But you can't. Like I told him. Did you hear me? Like I told him. Your whole survival depend on racism. That's their economics and everything. And how they mistreating other people is how they got on top. We ain't never, as a black people, mistreated no other people to get on top. We don't have that mindset.
Yeah. We come from love, nigga, helping each other out. We don't come from that, nigga, survival. We gotta do anything because we know we about to go extinct and shit.
So, yeah, he talking about our people conquer these people. Okay, if you have a conquering mindset, how long is that going to last on the planet? You talking about your people don't commit no crime, but you conquerors. That don't make sense. That's the dumbest shit I ever heard in my life.
You conquer whole countries and shit. Talk about we don't do no crime.
But you don't do crime. So, wait, boy, who the fuck you talking to? That's what I'm saying. Like, they're not used to talking to a person that's like, they're not used to that. Hey, I seen that all through.
That's because, shit, back when they was beating niggas with chains and whips, that shit wasn't a crime, nigga. It was legal.
Yeah,
that shit wasn't a crime for them to beat us and kill us and chop our arms off and shit. So that don't make it to the crime statistics.
Right. Feeding kids to alligators and shit.
Yeah, all that.
Yeah, exactly. bruh, like really, like they full of shit. That's what I'm saying. When a white person starts talking to you about race, but they not racist, but they call themselves white, and then they start talking that we could all get along as different races. But you just said come on now. Black people identify as being black. Well, how did they get that way? Because don't know people. I've been all over this planet. No people identify about race whatsoever. If they do, it comes from the influence of them. No one has a reason to identify by race or by skin color. That don't make no fucking sense, especially black people who got different skin colors within their family, and that's been since through time. So people are full of shit. That's what I'm saying. White people are full of shit from the gate.
All right, I'm about to wrap this call up. Anything you want to say on your way out?
Nah, fuck that. You ain't going nowhere, nigga. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, nigga, we talking all night.
Always have in mind, you know what I'm saying, make a racist person. What you could do is always make them identify or see if they identify with race, they are racist. I don't give a damn what they say. If a person go by race first, if you ask a person, what are you, you know, they start playing games with nationality and, you know, going back and forth, and they can't tell you nothing straight from their culture up, that lets you know exactly who and what they are. None of them spoke from culture. None of them. They kept jumping around through history and time, coming through books talking about Germany and
Greece and Rome.
Greece, right? They do that all the time because they think that's how you've been. Because most Black Americans, that's how it is. They condition you through their education system, so they think you're going to regurgitate what they taught you. So if you're smarter than that, or if you traveled or whatever, or you grew up African, whatever you grew up, you know, conscious, they can't do that to you. That's why they kept going with statistics. They kept going back to their statistics and all this other stuff to try to prove that crime.
How you gonna get statistics from the people that's trying to take advantage and oppress you and shit? The people that's doing it to you, how you gonna take their statistics?
Right. And statistics don't even matter. Like I said, if a person is if you see a person with wounds on them because they've been beat up, or you just know they've been beat up, you don't need to know through an investigation of statistics. You ask the person that got beat the fuck up.
That's what I was trying to tell him. Hey, Callie, wasn't I trying to tell him that?
Yeah.
But they kept trying to play that game of trapping you in using statistics as a way to, man, I was gonna tell him, I'm not gonna play that game. Are you white? Okay, well, I can't talk to you about, I can't have this conversation with you about that. But people in Haiti, and he kept talking about cultures he's never even been around or none of that shit. He just regurgitates some shit because he went and as a white person investigated it from his white perspective. He got mad Yankees, yeah, because I could see. I put on your glasses before, and I can't see through them motherfuckers. I'm blind as fuck. I can't see white, you know.
Brian, anything you want to say on the way out?
Fuck white people.
Oh, man. Again, I appreciate y'all for being there, man. Y'all held it down. I'm glad y'all was able to make it on there, man.
Don't run now.
Tariq Nasheed.
Man, I've been on here 2 hours, man. I need to go smoke me a blunt, sit down.
Yeah, I'm about to myself.
Yeah, shit.
But all right, yeah, it's good having me on the show, man. But like I said, I thought this was your show, period. But I just acted a fool anyway. I was like, oh, this ain't my. Well, I'm gonna use it as an advantage, just act a fool. But yeah.
We was collabing. I came to their show first, and then they was gonna come to one of mine later. But I don't know how that. But it worked out good though. I'm glad how it came out.
They think it's better to hang up on somebody and make it seem like they're dumb and shit. It's like, oh, you can't handle this. So, and then you had the nerve to talk about some hands, nigga. I would beat your ass. Like, get the fuck out of here. Like did you hear yourself threaten me? Like, yeah, you ain't gonna do shit. Shut up. Did you hear that, or did I take that wrong? This nigga wanted to fight me, like, come see me or something. He said, I was like, no, you don't want that, dude. You probably got children. I'm gonna put your children in the mailbox. They're gonna watch you. You know. But anyway, I'm joking.
All right, man. I'll holler at y'all. I send y'all the link when I post it.
All right, for sure.
Hail Hitler.
Hey, and there's they post theirs live too. So if y'all want to go and bang on their comments, yeah, that's open too. It's called Verbo Tempestas.
Can you
Hey,
send
tag me in that shit so I can see where it's at.
Yeah, I'll send y'all the link to their live.
I'm gonna be embarrassed. They're gonna be like, "Oh, that nigga Kyle a fool." They're like, "Oh, hey, yeah, I'm gonna be embarrassed as fuck." But part of me don't give a fuck. It's whatever. I'm used to battling white folk. I'm used to beating their ass or whatever. He said some shit about chimping out or whatever, and that used to be a site. You could look up a site called Chimp Out. I used to fuck that site up. Like they used to make fun of black people and do a whole bunch of weird fucked up shit on. It's called Chimp. So when he mentioned that let me know he racist as fuck. But I didn't say nothing. I'm letting you know that. So the next time we have a conversation, I'm gonna say, "Oh yeah, tell me about the chimp out you was talking about." Well, we all just go. Oh, okay. Tell me about that. That's a website. I'm one of the people that helped bring that website down. But that's something else. But anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, check out chimp out. Check it out. That word you probably missed that, but look up the word chimp out. Yeah. So
I'm yelling, got him.
It was a website that they used to run some really racist shit. I used to murder fucking white people on that shit because they once, like I said, once when you know what I've had too much practice. So them dudes actually easy. I was trying to give them respect that they got their own show. Dude, this is my show. I was like, okay, he go cry and stuff like the white boy you are. That's white boy. Hey, my show, it's mine. Let me talk.
You're not gonna respect me on my show.
All you gotta do is mute me, you fucking bitch. Like,
I don't think they can mute on Skype like I'll be doing on Zoom. That's why I was looking, because I was like, I would have been muted y'all niggas who keep on talking like that. I'm like, hold on, nigga. We can't hear nothing nobody's saying. We gotta take turns talking, nigga. But I don't think he can mute us. I don't think you could do it on here like I do on Zoom.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right, because each individual is a call. Well,
yeah.
I don't know when we conference. I don't know. I thought you could still do it when we conference. I don't know.
I mean, I think he could like kick you out. He could kick you out of it, but I don't think he could mute you.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. He probably can. I don't know. I'm new to this shit. He should be able to shit. But
Yeah.
I don't know. Whatever. It don't matter.
The bag.
But yep.
Anyway, fuck them Mayflower motherfuckers. But anyway, peace.
Yo, what up, fam? It's the boy Ali Kali.
That's why we're here talking about it. It's not the actual physical money, because the money don't mean shit.
Right, you gonna get out?
No, I'm not.
Wait, so you're not getting out of the car?
Do I have to? What was your name for the record?
Deputy. Okay. You got a license on
It's
it?
not my belief.
Deputy.
Tacos today, tacos tomorrow, taco every day. Hey,
either you with it or you not. This shit about to change everything.
You can't use dollar bills no more. You can't use no paper currency.
I don't think he's an idiot.
Niggas is still talking about slavery.
He's lost his fucking mind.
Us as a people, we're mentally trained to be crabs in a bucket.
Culture people, or people with culture, their culture comes first.
Life is awesome, man. I'm fucking ecstatic, bro.
But I tell you what, he's opened a lot of people's mind, like making people do a little more research than they already have.
Got jade, amethyst, amber, turquoise, coral, jasper, tiger's eye. All handmade, all one of a kind, made by me, my mom, my dad, and my 2 brothers. And they're all spiritual.
Nice. It's very nice work you guys do here.
Thanks.
It's very nice work. 287
6774.
6774. All right,
yes.
Appreciate it.
Yes.
You got a name? brother?
Jasson. My name Jasson still.
All right.
Rastafari.
All right,
Jamaica.
You, man.
Everything handmade.
Okay.
Everything has energy.
Okay.
You know, we for the people. The people, black people, really. You
That's
know?
right.
Because we are the people that are linked off from the Most High. We are your brothers and your sisters. Link up.
Most there.
Yes.